And here we go. Monday, December 6th, Ermanni and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, two-time Big Ten champion, Braylon Edwards, my friend. Good afternoon to you, my friend. Hail.
Let me drop my laptop a little bit. You see what time it is. You see what's going on. Shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, Jim Harbaugh. They got the W. I was there working for Fox. I appreciate Fox. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to John Yu, Pro Sports Zone, for getting us all this apparel. You want to get some apparel? See John Yu, Pro Sports Zone. Literally, Laurel Manor. Man, look at the T-shirts.
Johnny
Yu. Look at the T-shirts. We got the hats. We got the hoodies. You see the mini helmets down there. We have to maybe move the mini helmet over a little bit, maybe the Georgia one. But shout out to Johnny Yu. But yeah, man, great weekend. We can talk about that. I'm just floating on cloud nine, as they say. Good job to those guys. Maz, man.
Look at you, Maz. Look at you. Hail, baby. Big Ten football champions 2021. For the first time in 17 years, the University of Michigan football team are champions of the Big Ten. First of all, like, that game on Saturday was so great. The play calling in the beginning, just getting off to a great start. I feel as though, like, I had this out-of-body experience watching our football team perform like this. There isn't a hotter team in the country than right now than the Michigan Wolverines. And I know Alabama, what they did to Georgia, and that's fine. But you put up 42 against Ohio State. You back it up with 42 against Iowa and a Big Ten championship, Braylon. This team is hot. They are the number 2 team in the country. They will play Georgia in the college football playoff. That game, December 31st in the Orange Bowl, 7:30. Just so special to be a part of, and you were there.
Yeah, definitely was there. I saw a ton of people there. All the former alums were there. All the current representation of Michigan, all the people that stood by Jim Harbaugh, stood by the side. It was dope, and it was fun to see. And you're right. Michigan is the hottest team right now in the country. I said that Alabama, we'll get into my picks later, but I said that Alabama would beat Georgia. They are the second hottest team, although they struggled against Auburn. If you just start with the 97-yard touchdown to get them to overtime, they're the second hottest team. But Michigan has shown you over this course of this year that they can win many ways. They look at the Penn State game. They've shown you that they wouldn't give up at the end. They would become the new team. They wouldn't stub their toe, and they wouldn't allow themselves to lose a game that they shouldn't. You look at the Nebraska game, another one of those games where defense had to stay on tall at the end, had to rely on Jake Moody a lot. You look at this game against Ohio State. They went out there and they dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides. You look at the Iowa game. They knew Iowa was going to press the run. They knew that they were going to give the ball to Hassan Haskins. They knew Blake Corum. They saw Donovan Edwards in the Maryland game. So they knew the run was what Michigan was going to use. Michigan came out completely different. You saw trick play after, you saw some trick plays, saw some different zone inside stuff, opposite runs with J.J. McCarthy. So that was great. You saw Donovan Edwards throw the best pass of the game. So then they went back to the run. The reason why I like Michigan, I agree with you, is because they can win multiple ways, multiple facets. They're doing it. They can bulldoze you. They can finesse you. And on defense, you know those guys are going to get to the quarterback.
The Detroit Lions are going to be a hot topic today as well. They won a football game yesterday for the first time in 364 calendar days. We will get to them. But for our purposes, the Detroit versus everybody here today. What are they selling these shirts for now?
On sale today. It goes live at 3:13 this afternoon, 313. Get it?
Tell them about the price,
in honor of the Lions winning their first game this season. Our friends at Detroit versus everybody running a special promotion. Get your Honolulu Blue and Silver DVE shirt for only $11.01.
Why $11.01?
Because of their 110-1 record. We're rocking it, and only $11.01. Shirts will be sold. So go to versuseverybody.com. Purchase one today while supplies last. vseverybody.com.
Look at that. Very excited that the Lions won a football game. We'll get into that. But again, for us right now, we're just really excited about the Michigan Wolverines. This is a football team that has become the first program to go unranked, start the year unranked in the AP Top 25 poll, and just win and win and win and win and not lose. Well,
Except
they
once.
did lose except once. But you know what I'm saying. They are headed to the college football playoff. First team
Got
to do
them
that.
twice.
Yep. First team, a maize one and then a blue one. First team to do that ever. So this is big for the program. They are back. Michigan is back.
What were you saying to me earlier, Braylon? If Michigan pulls this off, they will have beaten who?
If Michigan pulls this off, that means they will beat Georgia this week, and then they will play Alabama because Alabama is going to roll Cincinnati, pun intended. That means they will beat the teams that were in the national championship last year. In my opinion, if Michigan is able to pull it off, which we all think they can now, this will be the hardest road in terms of beating brands, I think, in the college football playoff history because they would have had to beat Ohio State, who's won a national championship in the college football playoff, to get there, to get to the Big Ten. Then they have to turn around and beat Georgia, who's the #1 team all year, who's been to the college football playoff twice, and who's been to the national championship game, should have beat Georgia. And then they will have to turn around and beat Alabama, the team that is the college football playoff, that is the SEC and the national championship picture.
They're college football right
They're college
now.
football the last 12 years. So if you turn around and beat Ohio State, then beat Georgia, then beat Alabama, to me, and just brands, maybe not necessarily how good these teams are this year, but the brand, it's the hardest road ever.
And in between that, a little hurdle called Iowa.
Exactly. And they still have to get up to play the Big Ten championship, so you can't not credit for that.
I will say, so much talk over the last 24 hours or so, 24, 36 hours, about is Michigan #1? Did they just make Alabama #1 to avoid that potential rematch in the semifinal of Alabama, Georgia? Whether it's 1 or 2, I'm glad it's this way because I want it no other way than this. To go through Ohio State to get here.
I don't want excuses.
That's #1. Right. To go through Ohio State to get here and then go ahead and win an SEC championship while you're at it. Go ahead and beat the SEC West champ and the SEC East champ and go
tough.
through that road to get to a national championship game. I want it no other way because you know what would happen if they had to play Cincinnati or something and destroy Cincinnati.
Here come the discreditors.
Yeah, exactly.
Here come the discreditors. They played Cincinnati. Oh, they played Iowa.
Exactly. Or you play an Oklahoma State or a Baylor or Notre Dame or somebody like that. I want it no other way than this. Ohio State, Iowa, Georgia, and Alabama. Give them to me, and whatever happens, happens. The one concern I do have is I think Michigan, and this is where I want the playoff. I just want to keep playing. I never believe that football teams can play their best game 30 days after their last game. Like, it's just, that's why
fact.
That's why I've never been a bowl guy in my life. Like, granted, being in a playoff and playing for something much different, I do care about the result now, but just some generic bowl game, even if it is the Rose Bowl, let's say, even if Michigan were to play Utah in the Rose Bowl, I don't want to call that game meaningless, but I just never took too much from it because I always thought it was unfair to judge a football team that plays 4 or 5 weeks in some instances after their last game. It's almost like the first game of a new season.
It's about getting into a rhythm, and I understand 100% what you're saying. In the NFL, I played in the playoffs a couple times, had some playoff wins, made it to some conference championships. The rhythm just keeps going. So you get used to a rhythm. What happens is you get used to playing on that Sunday, then going in on Monday watching the film. You have Tuesday off, you practice Wednesday, you practice Thursday, you light practice Friday, you're off Saturday, you travel, you play Sunday, and then it repeats itself. When I was in college, after we would play Ohio State, whether we would win or lose, which we won once, but then you go play on a January 1st bowl, you're legitimately changing your rhythm. So now as a kid, I'm used to coming in, playing Saturday, coming in Monday, coming in Sunday, being off Monday, that whole pattern. Now all of a sudden, we're practicing Saturday. Now we're practicing Sunday. Now we're taking Mondays off. Now it's a light pattern. Now we're traveling on the 23rd of December. Now we're going to a foreign place. Now we're learning this place to practice in this place, whether it's some high school that they set up for us, whether it's USC or whether it's UCLA. And you got to get used to that. Guys got to get used to the weather. Guys got to get used to the air. It changes the vibe, and it takes you sometimes a little time to get into a rhythm. When the game starts, you're like, man, it's been a while since we did this. So I agree with you on that because it's very different when you're in that rhythm versus when you break that rhythm and try to find it again.
What happened to our beloved 06 Tigers? Take it to another sport.
Yeah.
They had to wait, what, 10 days
I
to
think
play
they
the
waited a
Cardinals?
full week at least.
Yeah, it was horrible. They had the red-hot ALCS walk-off with Maglio Ordonez, playing at their best. Baseball, the most days you have off is 2 days. That's the most days. And they give them 7 to 10 days off in between. I remember I had to play, didn't they have to play like an exhibition game at Comerica?
Yeah,
just
against
to stay
each
loose?
other, right?
Yeah, just to stay loose. And you gotta keep it going. It does stink. And you know what really stinks? That this game, again, is on New Year's Eve. I think they blow it by putting it on New Year's Eve.
I don't know why they do that.
They
Why
do it because,
they
first
do
of all,
that?
you want to stay away from the NFL. That's the first thing. If the NFL, if this was a Sunday, they would not be playing on New Year's Eve. Like next year, New Year's Eve is going to be on a Sunday, or maybe the year after that. You don't go against the NFL. Move it up a week. Whatever. Move it up a week. Don't play it on New Year's Eve. It's terrible.
Fish? I'm sorry.
I get that. And we have 25 days to talk about that.
Yeah.
Right now, we got to get back on track and talk about the energy that Michigan fans distributed at Lucas Oil Stadium. The energy was amazing, and that's what we got to get back to.
And that's what we'll get to next. Fish, did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I know why it's on a weekend.
Oh,
or why
you
it's
got
on
all
New
the
Year's
answers.
Eve. Well, not really, but I know why it's on this one. It's because it's on a weekend.
Look at that.
And the week after is the final.
What's going on the week before that? What's going on the week
Well,
before
they're not
that?
going to play it. They want to play it around New Year's for the New Year's 6.
I got to get to a break, guys. We're going to come back. I want to get Braylon's experience, who is in that stadium, in and around Indianapolis. First-time Michigan fans had that experience to see their team in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
We'll get Braylon's experience next.
do it, man.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, our studio sponsor. It's where I put my sports wagers in, MyBookie.ag or MyBookie.com. And if you're a first-timer, you want to give it a try, make sure you use the promo code Woodward because they're going to double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Whatever you put in, they'll double it up to $1,000. The best part, MyBookie accepts everything from credit cards to well-known cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, and whatever this one is, Ethereum or whatever it is. So you could bet and withdraw with crypto if that's what you want to do. This Saturday, UFC closing out 2021 with a bang. 2 world title fights going down at UFC 269, headlined by the lightweight championship fight between Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier. This fight amounts to a coin flip, but we'll have the finish rates over 75%, so you know this is not going to the scorecards. Don't miss out. Double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000, and make sure you use that promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, call the Michigan Gambling Problem Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Congratulations. Thanks. I know you're finding your guys here. First Big Ten title. You came home to Michigan for a reason. Describe the moment.
Oh, it feels great. Incredible moment. Players played great. Hassan Haskins, right here. Cade McNamara, Aiden Hutchinson.
The legacy
Can't be more proud of these guys.
of the veterans, Coach, because you've complimented them all year.
Yeah.
How they were a part of this turnaround. What can you tell me about this group?
Well, we wouldn't be here without them. What these men were able to do when nobody said they could do it, they didn't listen to it and just worked and found a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, and the will was strong.
When I say Michigan football is playoff bound, quickly, Coach, give me your reaction.
Fired up.
Fired up.
Up to the guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Great moment right there. You saw Tyler Goodson from Iowa, the running back number 15, come up to Hassan Haskins and give him some love. It's always good. That's one thing I can say about the experience. You know, being out there in Indy, Iowa fans were really gracious. It was really a respect from Iowa, a respect from Michigan. But enough with Iowa. Let's get back into Michigan. Let's get back to the big deal. Man, did Michigan fans come in droves. It was nervous Friday. There weren't a lot of Michigan people there. And I was there Friday night, saw all Iowa. I was like, oh, man, what are we doing? What's going on? What's in the water? And you realize that all Michigan fans were driving up on Saturday. And, man, when they got there, they came in droves. They were so loud at that stadium. We couldn't hear on the Fox broadcast. The big Fox broadcast for tour that I did, could not hear anything. We were yelling and screaming over Jeff Schwartz, Devin Gardner, R.J. Young, yelling over each other. Michigan was so loud. It was a home game like no other. And the other interesting thing about it, they're similar colors. Like it's kind of dark at Lucas Oil. You see yellow, or excuse me, disrespect. Actually, let me say yellow so it won't be Michigan. Yellow and black, and then you see maize in this navy blue, this dark deep blue. It looks the same. So when you hear Michigan cheering, it erupted. So if you're in Iowa, you're like, man, do we have any fans? And then once they came out, they booed. It seems like it's all Michigan fans booing you. They were singing, like Mr. Brightside came on in the fourth quarter. Shout out to the Michigan fans. They were amazing. Mr. Brightside came on in the fourth. They took over the Michigan chants. Like, it's great to be a Wolverine. You heard that all game. And the team felt the energy, man. Like, the energy was just – it was at a level that's hard to describe. And being in that, man, waiting for that moment as a fan, as an alum, as a player, watching these Michigan fans, like, get the moment they wanted, get the moment they waited for, going to school. How many fans have not seen Michigan do this? How many teams have been left without witnessing a Big Ten championship? You got to witness a national championship. Yep. You got to witness Big Ten championships. You know what that feel like. You know what it did to your college experience.
It was expected.
It was, but it also still felt good at your college experience. These fans haven't seen this. These kids haven't seen this. Guys went to school at 18. They're now 35 and haven't seen it. Man, they came in droves, and Michigan felt the energy, and that's why they got it done.
That's a home game.
Yeah.
They win one more game, and they have another home game. Alabama again, coming east for the first time instead of playing down south somewhere out in Texas. Win that game against Georgia, and you have a home game against whoever wins that Alabama-Cincinnati game.
And man, oh man, I did think about that too, just being in Indianapolis and having the experience of playing in that stadium too. If you can win one more game. Braylon, talk about what you did for Fox that night, because I saw you under so many people watching you guys.
Yeah, we had over
talk about
500,000.
your experience.
It was great. It was over 500,000 people. Basically, what we did was kind of like the Mannings, how they do their simulcast.
Yeah, that's how he took it. Yeah,
it's like the Mannings, how they did. Funny story about that, but how the Mannings did their simulcast on Monday Night Football is it was myself, R.J. Young, Fox analyst, Devin Gardner, Detroit's own, as well as Michigan guy, and then Jeff Schwartz, who played at Oregon and played in the NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs, as well as what was the other team he played for? It'll come to me anyway. Carolina Panthers. But at the end of the day, man, it was fun. It was like watching the game. You get the energy of the crowd. The crowd's behind it. Sometimes it was hard to talk. It was fun watching and being able to break it down. But it's a process. It is tough doing Twitter for 4 hours, and we're just it was nonstop breaks.
Do we have a little something there, Alex? Let's show a little Braylon Edwards here in action. Lumberjack.
This is it. That's it. There we go.
The last time we won. My goodness.
You see, I don't have a voice.
That's the last time we won. We got a throwback. Please look at
I was, as you can tell, I'm a homer. I couldn't help being a homer on the broadcast, man. It was a touchdown. This was the flea.
That was a flea flicker.
What I say?
Where have I heard that before?
What did he say?
What did I tell you?
Say it again.
What did I tell you?
By the way, getting back to the game, getting back kind of to the X's and O's. Like, see, this is the things that we talk about with Josh Gaddis. These are the things where we talk about where they're hiding content, where he's keeping some things hidden, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the the Ohio State game to do what they did on the first drive with the first touchdown with the fake, and then you pass it to A.J. Henning. You see that? The flea flicker pass, people forgot that Donovan Edwards played quarterback at West Bloomfield High School the last 9 games of the season. He's a quarterback / running back / receiver, as Maz likes to say as well.
He's a unicorn.
These are things that Josh Gaddis has in his bag, as they call it. He went to the bag, and once he went early, once they realized they could do this early, and then Iowa blew it on their first drive. When they didn't get their trick play, they used all that they had on the first drive. They came out spread. You never see Iowa go spread. They came out with a flea flicker. You never see Iowa do flea flickers. They came out with a bunch of tricks and a bunch of different things in the first drive, and then didn't get it, missed the field goal. I said, the game is over. The game is over. That's why you see Michigan start off like this. They scored back-to-back touchdowns, back-to-back drives in different ways, open it up. Hassan Haskins didn't even play on the first 2 drives. Once Iowa didn't get it on that first drive, once Michigan had that success, Michigan pulled back, and you saw Michigan just rely on defense and kind of chill. Second half, they went to running because they knew they didn't have to score points. They didn't have to be that creative, and they didn't have to outcoach themselves. And that's what you saw. They're saving it, and God darn it, they're saving it for the Georgia Bulldogs.
They still haven't given up a first quarter touchdown except opening the game against Michigan. That's been it. So, and when Iowa's down there, 1st and goal, I was like, see if they can hang in there, because that's a hell of a thing. If you can hold the team off the scoreboard except for a field goal in that first quarter, that's a huge start for yours. And once Michigan hit those 2 big plays, you saw the Iowa fans. They were dejected. You can see the memes. The one guy, if they put the Michael Jordan face on him already.
Yeah. They showed him like 3 times.
I mean, it's over. It's over.
I talked about doing a broadcast like on after the first drive, when they went with the trick play, the tight end kind of tripped. But the running back threw it too far. You know what I'm saying? The running back kind of tripped. I said, this is going to be the biggest play of the game. And Devin Gardner disagreed with me. And George Schwartz disagreed with me. And R.J. Young disagreed. Oh, it's early in the game. What are you talking about? I said, these guys just pulled out everything they had on the first drive. And they had a guy wide open in the end zone, and they missed him. You think Michigan's going to let them do that again? Ooh. Just imagine if they scored a touchdown on the drive.
Different game.
Michigan's thinking differently. Now they don't. Now they try to do more trick stuff, and maybe they outcoach themselves to a certain extent. But them not getting that and them not having it, they got down there again on the second drive, came away with no points. Game was over.
I played squares. Everyone plays squares once in a while. I had Iowa 7. They never even got to a freaking 7 for me. So, I didn't have to look the rest of the day. As long as they didn't get a 7, my squares were shot.
It is just a quick side note. You mentioned the Donovan Edwards. He feels like Michigan's next Heisman Trophy winner, or Michigan's next Heisman Trophy candidate.
Hopeful.
Let me put it like that. Hopeful.
Yeah.
That guy can do it all.
He
can do it all.
He reminds me of, if you've ever seen Friday Night Lights. I know you guys have. If you ever seen Friday Night Lights, when the game's first coming on, and his uncle is describing Booby, he said the boy can throw the ball, the boy can run the ball, the boy can catch the ball. Look at that. The boy is even getting Gatorade for the players out there. He reminds me of Booby Miles. He can do it all, man. And saw Corm yesterday after the game. He gave me a big hug, and it's true what they say. He is strong because he almost broke my doggone back. This is John you bacon over here, but this is
John
Corm. Corm, man, strong guy, man. Got Blake Corm, and you got Donovan Edwards in the backfield at Michigan with J.J. McCarthy next year, or potentially Cade McNamara, however they want to spin it. Man, it feels special. It feels special.
I'm glad you said that, because it does feel like Michigan is back. It feels like this is not a team that is going to be a one-and-done kind of one-year hitter and then we'll get out of here. It does feel like they've got players in the pipeline that can keep this thing going for quite some time. Now, I know on the offensive line they got 3 guys, one of which is definitely gone, but they've got 2 more. We'll see. Yep. They do have each a year of eligibility, so as you try to project this football team moving forward, sure, they're losing some guys, but coming into this season, nobody really ever thought of Hassan Haskins, who was going to be this great. Nobody said David Ojabo, besides Braylon, nobody said David Ojabo was going to be end up being a top 10 NFL draft pick. Nobody thought Daxton Hill was going to be a first-round pick. Had talent, but you see what I'm saying. Guys come and develop, and over the course of a year, they stand out. That's how a program is made.
And the reason why you can put it together, like, in order to win championships, you need players. In order to get championship, but players, you got to win. They're one right now at the highest level. They're winning nationally. The three highest rated games so far this season. Before, I don't know the ratings for SEC. I can't imagine they're better. Are Michigan. They've seen Michigan win. They've seen Michigan on the highest level. And by Harbaugh going to get those young coaches, going to get Ron Bellamy out of West Bloom High School, who bought Donovan Edwards, going to get Mike Hart. They have the connectivity to when they go recruit. When they go into these living rooms, these young guys can recruit. They can talk to these young players and connect. Michigan is far from over up there in Ann Arbor.
Coming back, you're going to hear from Jim Harbaugh, an interaction he had yesterday on the college football playoff selection show. Him and Reese Davis, of course, the final college football playoff rankings, and where where Michigan State is going as well. Lots to get to on a Michigan Monday. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With mortgage interest rates unbelievably low, the stakes to find your new home have never been higher. And that's why Hall Financial's exclusive realtor network allows us to connect you with a top-rated realtor in your area, making sure you take on the housing market and win. Hall Financial has earned over 4,000 five-star reviews because of our technology and our commitment to closing your loan fast. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Want to find out how to start a job in an industry that is always essential? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about the heating and cooling industry. Visit northwesterntech.edu where you can find out how to make $77,000. Actually, I take that back. Not find out, because I'm telling you how to do it. They'll teach you why to do it. I'm telling you why to do it. They'll teach you how to do it. $77,000, northwesterntech.edu. northwesterntech.edu.
Jim, when you think about going into the season unranked, you're the first team to make the playoff that was unranked in the preseason. There was some negativity surrounding the program. What's a moment, what's an anecdote in which you sensed that there was a change, that there was a confidence, a belief in this group?
For me, just watching our guys give it their very best every day, whether we were in off-season, winter conditioning, whether we were in spring practice, weight room, fall practice, just a bunch of guys that wanted to give it their very best and then feel good about what they accomplished. And they've accomplished a lot. There's a lot of work. Guys just working and not worrying is what I would say. But, yeah, it's a great feeling. And Reese, I got to say, too, I mean, you're one of the only ones out there that thought we'd be any good at the beginning of the season. What did you see?
I thought you looked tough. You looked disciplined. I thought you could run the ball in the early part of the season. You didn't turn it over. And certainly the two defensive ends were terrific. So does that make me an analyst now on your staff?
Absolutely. No, you're one of the best. There's no question about it.
You know what? It's so great to see him smiling. That was Jim Harbaugh and Reese Davis on the college football playoff selection show yesterday. It's just you talk about it all the time. Jim Harbaugh looks like he's Jim Harbaugh again.
I got two words for you. House money.
Yeah. I mean, that's the guy, though, that I think everybody wanted 7 years ago. This is why he was brought here. For moments like this, for days like that. To see yourself on that selection show, to see Ann Arbor, Michigan, with the tables there at the Alglick Fieldhouse. You know, I mean, you're just this is why he was brought here, and it paid it off.
When you bring in Jim Harbaugh in 2015, you're bringing in a guy that finished fourth in the Heisman, I want to say, or was it second, man? I know you would know. He finished second or fourth in the Heisman in 1986 or 1987. He knows the program. He pulled a Joe Namath in 85. He said, I guarantee you we beat Ohio State. And guess what? He delivered. He goes in the NFL. He had success. He had success at Stanford. He beats USC. Right?
Captain Comeback.
He was Captain Comeback. You know, he beats USC right at the tail end of when Pete Carroll was there. He's won. You're excited. You're like, this guy knows the program. This guy is a winner that knows the program. We can have this guy, and we're getting jump man. All these things align, and then it doesn't happen. He won, but he didn't win the big games. So now you're like, dang, well, we thought this was going to be it, and we thought this is why we brought him in. And then he changes who he was because he said, you know, it wasn't good enough what I was doing. I got to change who I am if I want to get the success I want. To do something you've never done, you've got to change the way you've been. He changed the way he was. He got these young guys out there. He's opened up the doors. The players talk so highly of him now. That wasn't always the case. Players love him. They love playing for their coaches. They love playing for his coaching staff. And just like we talk about with Nick Saban, always be scared of Nick Saban when you see him what? Smile. And boy, was I right about that one.
He's still smiling. He's laughing now.
I'd be smiling too if Bryce Young was my quarterback. But Jim Harbaugh, same thing. He's smiling. He's having fun. He's deferring to the players in interviews. He's like, hey, get Hassan Haskins up here. Get Aiden Hutchinson up here. Get Cade McNamara up here.
Lifting his players
Wasn't
up.
always doing that. It was about the block him and him. Now it's like, no, you guys get in here. This is your interview. You guys cause this. It's a different guy, and he gets it.
I will tell you, Maz, you brought up the house money statement because, and I'll disagree with you a little bit there. Because Michigan's whole, like over the course of our lives, your life, for the last 50, 60 years, Michigan has defined their own success based on Big Ten championships and not national championships. Right. They have done that. Based on their own success, they have gotten to that level. They are champions of the Big Ten. However, this is a different day and age, I think. Any of these 4 teams that are in the playoffs now has an opportunity to win a national championship. And when you get there, there is no guarantee you get back. Look at Michigan State, who has had a really nice 10-year run of success. They got there one time, the college football playoff. And I'm not saying Michigan's not going to get back or anything like that. Right. But what I'm saying is it's very difficult to get back to this spot. When you get here, you absolutely have to take advantage of it.
Both you guys are right. If Michigan beats Georgia, Maz is right. Yeah. As of right now, you're right. If Michigan beats Georgia, Michigan's playing with house money against Alabama in the national championship game because they got there. Now they're playing with house money. Right now, you're correct because of how it's judged. National championships, at least getting to the game. Nobody cares about conference championships as Baylor.
Right.
As Baylor, typically, nobody cares about conference championships.
Baylor, as Pitt.
As Baylor, as Pitt, and the list goes on.
Ask Ohio State in years where they don't win the national. Yeah,
exactly.
In years
so
they don't
if they
win the
beat Georgia, Maz, you're 1,000% correct. Right now, Ryan, you're 100% on the
Because who are
nose.
you competing against? You're competing against Ohio. Or who do you think you're competing? Well, you're not even thinking. You are competing with Alabama. No. You're competing with Georgia. You're competing with Notre Dame. You're competing with Ohio State. You know what those teams have? They've got success in the national championship. Yep.
To beat a man, you got to beat the man.
Woo! Can I ask you guys this quick question?
Yes. Of course.
Beginning of the year, I'll tell you, you made the Final Four. Was that a successful year? Are you happy?
He said that, by the way.
Yes, I did, by the way.
I said, are you happy?
Yes, but I think...
No, you were then. You're not now.
Yes, correct.
Oh, good call, Maz.
No, look, I think
it don't matter what they do going forward. They already reached
I still think
where we wanted them to reach.
House money, though.
It's step one.
Yeah.
Because this team ain't going anywhere.
That's what I do believe that, by the way.
This is step one.
I would just say, in terms of now success, yes, I would agree we already had success. This is as successful a season as you can get for Michigan in terms of the thought process in the beginning. But in terms of saying playing with house money, they got to beat Georgia to be playing with house money.
Yeah, I mean, I think for this football team to compete with not just in 1 year, but to compete with programs like Ohio State, like Alabama, and oh, by the way, I think Nick Saban's, what's he got, another 2-3 years max?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got an opportunity here.
If he wins this year, I think he's done.
He looks young. He looks younger than ever.
Braylon. I have said that too.
No way. He looks younger than ever. Aflac?
I think
he's not going anywhere.
But notice he's doing more and more commercials. Typically, when people start doing more commercials, more live appearances, more on-desk stuff, they're setting up for that next life. If he wins, he can call his shot just like somebody did with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Bill Cowher.
I have thought about that.
Bill Cowher was still young.
If he wins another one this year with this team, with a freshman quarterback, I mean, back-to-back, would that be number 8 for him? I mean, what do you need to do? Get to 10?
What did Brady Quinn tell us week 1? Who's going to win the Heisman?
He said back-to-back.
Bryce Young's going to win back-to-back Heismans.
And boy, did he went out there and he lit it up, man. I'm telling you, I was trying to say, when we kept saying about Nick Saban smiling, he said, whenever Nick Saban's smiling, be nervous, be scared. I saw, with 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the Auburn game, why the hell Nick Saban was smiling. That boy Bryce Young is as good as advertised.
Yeah.
To be that young, you know what he reminds me of? Remember how young, well, he was young. Remember how cool and mature Russell Wilson was as a rookie, as a second year? When year they won a Super Bowl, I think he was in year 3. He's always been even killed. He got emotional one time when they won, but I don't mind that. Even killed, straight laced. Same thing with Bryce Young. His interviews, he always brings his team in. He's smooth. Nothing bothers him. It's like water off a duck's back. Yeah. They legitimately needed to go 97 yards with a minute and 20 seconds, or their season was over. Not only did they go, they went in like 40 seconds. Then they went in overtime. And then when everybody said Georgia's the team, that helmet right there. When everybody said Georgia's number 1,
I never liked Georgia.
It's over for Alabama. You're right, you did say that. But the pundits, the majority of the people, it's over for Alabama. The run is over. They look beatable. The offensive line, the defensive line. They went into that Georgia game and they knew something that Georgia didn't. And they knew that Bryce Young was a Heisman Trophy winner, not 1, not 2. He may be a 3-time Heisman Trophy winner because think about it, he's a true freshman.
Guys, I want to ask you, I didn't pay this off. We'll do it next. College football playoff rankings, and what would it look like if there was a potential 12-team playoff this year with the way it ended up? You wouldn't believe what a potential Rose Bowl matchup would look like. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
That's my dream.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Hey gang, I want to let you know about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac on Michigan Avenue in the great city of Dearborn. You want to buy a car? They got a truckload of Blazers, brand new, ready for you to come onto the lot, buy one, pick one up, drive one off. And you know what? If you don't want to buy a car, maybe you want to sell them your car, go ahead. All you got to do, walk in, they'll walk out with thousands. You'll walk out with thousands. Doesn't matter whether you own the car or lease the car either. That's because Les Stanford is your authorized lease return center. Hey, maybe you're coming up on your miles. Don't want to go overboard on those? How many people lease cars and you're watching your miles for months and months and months? Just leave them. Go ahead and turn the keys into them. Your authorized lease return center. All you got to do, give them a call today, 313-565-6000, 313-565-6000, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com, Les Stanford Chevrolet. Fish, what are you going to do?
No chip shortage here.
Find new roads. Very good.
Kennedy gets her car tonight.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. Kennedy sold her car back to Les Stanford, ended up buying one back. How about that? Let's see. At college football playoff rankings, Michigan State finished 10th, a top 10 finish for Michigan State. So Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, and Cincinnati, the top 4. Notre Dame finished 5th. Ohio State 6th. Big 12 champion Baylor, then Ole Miss and Oklahoma State 8 and 9. And then, of course, the Michigan State Spartans round out the top 10. Really one of those years that is really good. Michigan State's going to the Peach Bowl. They'll take on Pitt and a potential number 1 overall pick. In that game as well. Matt Corral, that's your guy, Maz. You like Matt Corral?
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. No, Kenny Pickett.
Fake slide.
Pitt.
Gotta love the fake slide.
My kid.
Hey, hold on.
Kenny Pickett.
I've been waiting to ask you guys about that slide, and I feel like
I thought it was great.
If this show wasn't so great today, I would do a man chill out, because I would make that my man chill out.
It should be a penalty.
That should be a penalty.
It should be a penalty.
I think it was amazing.
It's 10 yards difference.
Hold on. I think it is amazing. I think it was great. but I think he should be the last one to get away with that. Because if he's like, now that they're fake sliding, if I'm a defensive player,
how do I know?
How do I know he's not going to fake slide?
Yep.
So now I'm like, I'm doing this and I get cooked. Or if I go down and he does slide, like watch this. Guy takes off. It's amazing. Here you go. Oh, see, you froze him.
But it was a 10. He was 10 yards.
Doesn't matter, Maz. It's a penalty.
But he froze him from 10 yards because think about it. The guy already is thinking as you're running up, a quarterback's not going to run into you. He's not going to try to run you over doing that, even if he is 10 yards away, because he knows he's going to slide, especially a quarterback like Kenny Pickett, who's up for the Heisman, who has 4,400 yards passing and 44 touchdowns. So I'm not thinking that he's going to fake slide. I'm thinking, hey, I know he's going to slide. So I'm already stopping in my tracks 10 yards away. The fake slide, now he gave himself a free touchdown. I think he should be the last person to get away with it. I thought the play was cool. I think they should start using it in movies. It was great. Video games, they should maybe use it, but not in real life because you're hurting the defense by their thought process.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I also think that referees should stop the play while we're on this subject, should stop the play of progress a lot sooner than not, because you can't grab a player and throw him down anymore. That is a penalty. And you know what? These players, they're bear hugging these running backs
and pushing them forward and bringing them forward.
Well, they're holding
trying
them.
To strip them.
Whatever. And as soon as they want, because they can't throw him down to the ground in fear of a penalty, these guys are running for an extra 5, 6, 10 yards.
That happened in one of the Michigan games this year, where I think Hassan Haskins ended up getting about an extra 15 yards in the game. I was excited because it worked for us, but I was like, man, he should have been down about 15 yards.
Heisman Trophy, we're going to get to that in just a little bit as well. Aiden Hutchinson getting some run. Bryce Young's probably going to win it.
It's over.
Will Aiden Hutchinson get the invite to New York? We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I do want to bring this up because college football playoff expansion is a hot topic. And we saw this on Reddit. This is what it would look like if you took the top 12 teams this year and made a 12-team playoff just based on the numbers. You would have the top 4 teams getting byes. And then you would have, 12, 5, 8, 9, 7, 10, and 6, 11. You could have a potential Rose Bowl matchup between Michigan and Michigan State based on the seeding. Who wouldn't want to see that?
Who does Michigan State have to beat first? Because that's
Baylor.
Baylor,
Big 12 champion Baylor.
By the way, I picked them to beat Oklahoma State too.
I think 12 is the perfect amount of teams for this.
I'm taking all my credit.
I do. I like some people think we should leave it at 4 and 6. 8. I think 12 is the absolute perfect amount of teams you can do a playoff with, and I don't think it diminishes the regular season at all. If anything, I think it strengthens the regular season to know that Michigan could play USC in September, and that game doesn't determine whether or not you make it into the college football playoff. Maybe we wouldn't see as many Michigan Western, Michigan Northern Illinois, Michigan Eastern Michigan type games, Michigan Akron, if you had the ability to lose a game here and there. I think 12 is perfect.
Yeah, 12.
Anything's better than 4, which is better than what we had prior to that, which was none.
The BCS.
All right, the BCS.
Who we think deserves to be in it.
Exactly. The computer who spit out stuff. And so it was 2, now it's 4. 8. I'll take 8. 12 is great. You know me. I want what the Wayne State does. I want the whole thing. Yeah. Play the whole damn thing out. But I know that's not going to happen. So I'll take 12 and be very happy with it.
I like 6. I mean, I think with the exception of this year, because I definitely agree with all you guys. Like I like this year all the way from starting at Alabama at 1, going down to 12. Who's at 12 right now? I forget. It's Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett. Starting 1 to 12, I like it. But most years I take 6. 2 by you get the top 2 teams buys, and then you go from there. I would go with 6. I think 6 the magic number, because typically every year it's only 2 teams that get left out of it. It's only 2 teams you're really arguing that you want to see most years, not this one. Maybe 7. I mean maybe 3, but you can get rid of 1 team. I'm telling you, 6 would be the perfect number.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun. I think the more teams. Remember back when baseball had
more teams, the more you open the door for a team that doesn't belong there to be the team that does.
I like it.
Yes and no, but the problem is like the more you. I don't know. Remember when in baseball when they just had the American League East and then in the West, and then like the 2 division champions made it to the playoffs, and then that was it.
That was it. That was the ALCS.
And to be honest with you, in mid-June or July,
you knew
you knew who was. So the regular season was completely meaningless because the Yankees are always at a 15-game lead
and Royals.
by July.
Yankees
it
and
was
Royals.
over. So. If Michigan lost a game, to Colorado at the start of the year or whatever, maybe their regular season wouldn't be meaningless. And that's why the Big Ten championship was so meaningful to them, because you lose a game to Notre Dame in the opener to Rocket Ismail or something like that, and you knew you had no chance at a national championship.
Not to mention, like back in the day when it first started, Big Ten didn't have a chance at it anyway.
Right.
The only team that really had a chance from a national brand in the Big Ten, starting with the 60s, the 70s, and 80s, was Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like Michigan was getting left out all the time. Like they didn't want Wisconsin. They weren't taking Michigan. They weren't taking, well, Penn State wasn't a part of it. But they weren't taking Michigan State for the most part. I think Michigan State won in 82. So that's why in the song, even in the fight song, it says in the champions of the West, because the champions of the West is the Rose Bowl. We knew we weren't going to national championship. National championship for years was all about Notre Dame and the SEC and the Big 8. Weren't they the Big 8 back then?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. They were the Big 8. So you're either Big 8, you're Georgia, you're Miami Hurricanes.
Big 8 was Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Exactly. So you're like one of those schools, and then now you have a chance to get there. Now you're a respected brand. Now you can look at it. But back in the day, if you're the Big Ten, you weren't playing the national championship, even if you had a record, because they weren't going to pick you.
Yes, I was going to try to think of some sort of transition to get back to Aiden Hutchinson, and I was working.
Won't need one. Let's just go for it.
You saw that working out in my own mind, the rotors. But I do want to play this. So Aiden Hutchinson talking post game for the University of Michigan. The crowd started chanting "Hutch for Heisman, Hutch for Heisman." Here's what he had to say after the game.
Aiden, just like your coach, you've been around this program your entire life. Wrote your parents a note when you were a kid that you wanted to play at Michigan. But other than that, you wanted to leave a legacy at Michigan. Seems like you've been able to do that. How does it feel?
Hey, man. I'm just so...
That's right, big fella. Soak it up. Soak it up as Chris Hutchinson, his dad, is looking on.
Big Ten championship here.
How about his mom?
With the best teammates ever.
His parents,
and
man.
the best coach in the world, man. I'm so proud of everybody. I'm speechless. There's no words.
It's the best feeling.
I can describe for this, man.
What do your teammates mean to you? These group of seniors that stayed, that wanted to put you guys back on top, and now find yourself together back on top of the mountain.
Yeah. Last year we went 2-4. Everybody had to invest in this culture and this team, and as you see today, we did. Every single player invested in our culture and what we did. And I'm so proud of everybody. This wouldn't be possible without all 130, 140 of the players on this football team.
Aiden, congratulations. Hopefully we see you in New York next week.
Go Blue!
When did they decide that, by the way?
It's already been decided. They usually decide. They wait to the championship games, because most of the time the guys that are going to New York, with the exception of very rare occurrences like a Lamar Jackson or a Johnny Manziel, the guys are playing in the conference championships, and they're usually kind of like battling down to the wire. So you want to see if somebody gets the edge. You want to see a Kenny Pickett. Do we invite Kenny Pickett, or does he have a bad game? Well, he had a damn good game, so now you're going to bring 5. Aiden Hutchinson, he's a tweener guy. Well, he had another sack. Now he has a Michigan record by 2 sacks. So we got to have him in there. Kenneth Walker is a guy. He's a tweener guy. You're like, if Aiden has a bad game, if Kenny has a bad game, now you're looking at Kenneth Walker like, well, he didn't play this week, but he still has over 1,700 yards. He still has 20 or so touchdowns. He still had a hell of a year. That's why you wait to the end to see what happens. If a guy plays himself out or if a guy plays himself in. Bryce Young won the Heisman, in my opinion, in the SEC championship game.
Amen.
Kenny Pickett won himself a trip to New York in the game this past Saturday, and Aiden Hutchinson won himself for sure a trip. Now it's Kenneth Walker and C.J. Stroud. Bring those guys for 4 and 5, or leave them home.
You like that, Maz?
I do. He got it right on the head. Those are your top 5.
Yeah.
I'd say bring them all.
I agree 100% because you can't discredit what Kenneth Walker III did this year. Kenny Pickett played
the leader all year.
100%. Bryce Young, and then C.J. Stroud. The year he
terrific
had,
player.
and keep in mind, if you look at his stats, he didn't play one game.
No.
He's averaging 310. He's averaging 3.5 touchdowns a game, and he didn't play one game. So add those to his stats. Got to bring C.J. Stroud.
How about Quinn Ellers? Is he coming?
He might pull a Joe Burrow.
Could go
Joe
to
Burrow
LSU.
transferred from Ohio State too.
That
LSU.
kid made $1 million on NIL, and the stuff he signed for Ohio State, it's worthless now.
Not necessarily.
It might be worth more.
Exactly. It might be worth more.
Imagine Joe Burrow, Ohio State signed jerseys or something
We're
like that.
talking about Quinn Ellers. This kid is transferring from Ohio State.
But
He is
Joe
out of
Burrow's,
there.
he left Ohio State too.
Wow.
What about that rule?
He's going to follow Joe Burrow right to LSU.
I mean, he might.
I would.
Yeah.
Guys, I got a question about the Big Ten, the way it's aligned. I'm going to ask you that question next, and then we'll get to the the Lions top of the hour. I just want to ask you about Big Ten for a second. Ermanni and
Blow it
Edwards.
up.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough. Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX340...
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Here we go with the Folding Warehouse. It's Maz for our good friends at the Folding Warehouse. Chris and Noni Hutt and Hamtramck. What a place this is. It's huge. Come and bring your friends, your family, your work buddies, whatever you want to do. You can have a party there just like the big people here at Woodward Sports did just last Tuesday. Our champions are sitting up there. What's folding? It's throwing a football at bowling pins. It's that simple and it's that fun. And it's cheap too. Very cheap. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in for fun. 2 ways to play. $10 unlimited open play or a private lane for 10 people. And you could pay $120. Split that up amongst that 2 hours there as well. And they have over 100 beers, a couple of open multiple full bars, and $2 mystery beer machine. What are you going to get when you put your $2 in? You bring the food or have it delivered in. Come get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
Guys, I got a silly question for you. We're going to get into some
such thing.
Detroit Lions talk.
Actually, here it is.
In top of the hour. Just a couple of minutes.
W.
Big win.
It's not a Blue Monday.
No. I will ask the question, though. Is it time to break up the Big Ten a little bit in terms of alignment? They've been playing the Big Ten championship game since 2011. The Big Ten East champion has won the Big Ten championship 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in a row. 9 times in a row, the Big Ten East champion. And by the way, that's 4 different teams.
You know what's so great about
Michigan,
that?
Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State. 4 different teams in the Big Ten East have won the last 9 straight Big Ten champions.
That's why I challenge that we're the best division in college football, period. Mm-hmm. The East side of the Big Ten, with those 4 teams you named, this is the best division in college. I don't want to hear anything about the SEC. I don't want to hear anything. These are the schools that make up the best division in all college football.
They beat the living daylights out of each other every single year. And a team from the West, it cheapens the product of the Big Ten. Can you imagine if Minnesota would have gotten in there?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Minnesota rowed a boat. They can't do anything. You got to blow it up. Something's got to change. And I told you, I'd like Ohio State in one division and Michigan State in the other division.
He killed us with that last week, though.
But you got me. You got me on that. I don't want to see Ohio State, Michigan 3 times.
Right.
Possibly. You know, because if you beat
Can't
them at
do
the
it.
last game of the season, then you got to play them in the championship, and then they might both get into the final again, in the playoff again. So I know you killed me on that one, but something's got to be done. You got to break it up a little.
Something. You got to maybe send Michigan State and Penn State to the other side.
That dog is read my mind. I was thinking the same exact. I think the only two teams that need to be in the same, that have to be in the same conference, is Ohio State and Michigan, and Wisconsin and Iowa. They're the teams that have the biggest rivalries against each other in the Big Ten. Everybody else, you can move them around and shuffle them around.
But even though rivalries aside, you could still make it that you play your rival every year.
But what Ryan said last week was so key, because you could turn around if you're Michigan, Ohio State. You could play 3 times in 1 year. Nobody wants to see.
Nobody wants
not
that.
3 times in 1 year.
Nobody even wants to see Alabama,
one.
Georgia again. To be honest with you,
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see a repeat number 2 game, let alone a third game.
Yeah,
potentially.
But I agree with you. You got to blow it up, because you look at the West. Nobody even pays attention to the West, and no disrespect to the West, because the Iowa people were great. You know, Wisconsin fans are great. Everybody's great over there. You know, everybody, you get a pat on the back. Nobody cares about the West. Like when it's legitimately who's going to win the East, and do they have one loss so they can get into the playoff? Is it O State? Is it Michigan State? Is it Penn State? Is it Michigan? Like, it feels good to say that.
Yeah, it does.
But it's like, is it going to be those schools? Like, with the exception of Wisconsin, like, no team over there you really care about, you want to see. You got to do something with it, because right now, we as Big Ten fans don't like it. I know the rest of the country doesn't care about it.
I would love to see Penn State over there, because Penn State would win.
Penn State, Wisconsin would be a good battle.
They'd kill each other, too. I wouldn't mind that. But MSU and Michigan, you have to play every year.
And I don't think
they could play every year. They can be opposites, but play every year, because I think they wouldn't play 3 times as much as Ohio State, Michigan.
Gotcha.
You know, the Big Ten East has dominated the championship game since its inception. The SEC West has dominated as well. The SEC West champion has won 12 of the last 13 SEC championships. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those 12 championships have been Alabama. You have had one team.
Bama, Florida, and LSU.
Bama, LSU, Auburn.
Bama,
LSU, Auburn. LSU has 2. Auburn has 2. Alabama has 8. The only SEC East champion was Georgia back in 2017 in the last 13 years.
And then they turned around and played Alabama.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so Georgia, Florida, Missouri, South Carolina, they lose in this championship game every year. But I think because I feel like the Big Ten East just needs to be broken up a little bit. You've got 4 champions in 9 years. You've got nobody else taking a sniff.
Yeah, 100%. We've been thinking about this for a very long time. Somebody has to step up, you know, and maybe you hope somebody steps up. Maybe you hope that, you know, Iowa takes that butt whooping, and with Harbaugh, which I can't wait to talk about that as well. How they ran the score up. I don't have a problem with that, by the way. But maybe Iowa takes that serious, and they change the way they do things, because their offense, the way in which Kirk Ferentz's son calls offense, it's not how you win games. I was talking to Iowa fans. They can't stand Kirk Ferentz's son as the offensive coordinator. Like, when you watch that game,
they only play field position.
They were in the game the whole first half. They were in, and even in the third quarter, I was expecting to see what could they do coming out of the half. I said, you know what, running the ball up the middle wasn't working for you. When you went spread, you had success. When they were throwing the ball to the tight end, Laporta, they were having success. Then you see them move the football a little bit in the second quarter with Tyler Goodson. You're like, hey, you know what? Let's see how they come out. They came out in the second half and ran the same thing they did at the end of the first quarter, and they struggled. The reason why Kirk Ferentz is still your head coach is because they wanted Kirk Ferentz's son to be the head coach, but now they don't, so he's still there. But if they change something, maybe Wisconsin, Purdue were 8-4 this year. Purdue went 8-4. They beat Michigan State. They beat who else they beat? The big one.
Purdue?
Purdue. Was it Ohio State?
They beat Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They beat Wisconsin, and they beat Michigan State. Maybe they're figuring it out. You know, Nebraska, maybe they'll get a quarterback not named Martinez and figure it out. But for right now, you got to do something about it, because it's literally the East and Wisconsin and nobody else.
Maybe the team that goes in the West isn't here yet. There are teams that are going to be picked over. Who would you like the Big Ten to bring over here on a best case scenario? Because it's going to get bigger.
Honestly, I think, you know, the Cincinnati's going to the Big 12 now. So
the Big 12. Why go there when it's going to?
Ohio State probably keeps Cincinnati out of the Big 10. You know,
how about Iowa State? Are they even worthy of coming over?
No, I mean, I look, Notre Dame and Cincinnati would be the two that.
Well, Notre Dame's a slam dunk. I've been saying that since I was a kid, and you can see I'm not a kid anymore.
Otherwise, no, I don't think there's anybody.
What about the only school I like? They're too far. Like, I feel like the schools that you would try to add that kind of could add value. Like, what about a school like Baylor? Like, a school like Baylor would be a good school, but Baylor's way the hell down in Texas. Like, they would have to fly way up here every game, where people got to go way down there. That's tough on a college schedule with classes and just.
Notre Dame's a slam dunk. Here's what you tell Notre Dame: hey, come on over. We'll put you in the West. You'll have a chance, legitimately, to win the Big Ten every year. Every year.
That's not a bad selling point, but I think
that's my selling point.
That's not a bad one.
Hey guys, top of the hour. Wanted to get into some Detroit Lions talk. Of course, the Lions, an improbable last-second touchdown pass. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and the Lions win #1 on the year. You'll see it. We'll hear about it. We'll talk about it. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It's that time of the year again. Time for our second annual Stuff a Studio with Woodward Sports. Last year, Metro Detroit came together to help make the largest single toy donation in Mott Children's Hospital history. This year, we make it even bigger. Stuff a Studio is happening December 13th through the 17th at the Woodward Sports Studios in Birmingham. The children in Mott Children's Hospital fight so hard all year. Now it's up to all of us to help bring a smile to their faces. So while you're out holiday shopping, make sure you pick up an extra toy or two and help us spread some love to Metro Detroit this season. We look forward to seeing you December 13th through the 17th as we stuff our studio with Woodward Sports and Myre.
Woodward Sports Network, let's go! Ho, 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 ho.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end! Oh, they're rushing the field!
How in the world?
Defense.
Yeah, and no disrespect to the Detroit Lions. Okay. And of course, we've got to talk over the play.
Yeah.
Even though you're
Dan
trying
Miller.
to hear it. Thanks, Dan Miller. Great call, by the way. Wonder if he's got his vocal cords today.
I thanked them. I wrote it right after that play because me and the girls were driving. I believe I had to leave at the 2-minute warning.
Oh my God!
And drive to Maddie's soccer game.
Wow.
So we're driving, and we just pulled over in the parking lot, and because we had to hear it, the girl's like, "Turn it up, Dad! Turn it up!"
Oh my God!
It was so. Then I went home and watched it again. But it was great to hear.
What in the world were the Minnesota Vikings doing defensively on that play?
I don't know. And I love Mike Zimmer. I'm the Zim guy. Skull. They lost. Their 7 losses are 6 points or less.
It's on the head coach.
It's got to be on the coaching.
It's the head coach. When you watch that game, Braylon, there's no doubt how poorly coached the Minnesota Vikings are. I know they got guys out.
Right.
I know they got guys. So that means you got to coach them even harder.
Why'd they keep going for 2? Let's start there.
Everyone's going for 2. Look what Baltimore did yesterday.
But y'all not winning. Like
Baltimore went for 2. I understand.
I don't mind Baltimore because with the rate at which Lamar Jackson is turning the ball over, I don't risk going into overtime.
He said he got no corners left that game. He said he had no corners left to play, so he had to go for 2.
Yeah, so I understand that one. But with Zimmer, and Jay Feely, shout out to Jay Feely, been on a friend of the show. He's done it twice, covered the game, did a heck of a job with Spiro Diaz, who's your guy. He talked about it when he first did. He said, I don't understand this call by Zimmer. And then he does it again, and Jay's like, they missed again. If they wouldn't have went for it the first time,
they would have had the lead.
I just don't understand that. But looking at the Detroit Lions, I'm not taking it back. Going back to that play, the safety Woods was sitting in no man's land. He was waiting for a back entry pass. Like basically he was waiting for somebody to run through the back end zone line. I think that's what he was looking for. That's typically the plays you run a goal line. You got a guy back end zone line. You got a guy from the other side come short end zone line. He was just sitting there in no man's land, and the corner didn't press him. The corner played off too. It was like they gave him the touchdown. They dared him to throw the ball, and Jared Goff said, you know what? Okay. Here you go, Amon St. Brown. And it was good to see Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, legitimately,
he's a player.
He made some plays in that game. And now you're looking at maybe Brad Holmes did know something with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And now that Jared Goff's able to get the ball to him, I liked him a lot.
Look, you're trying to pull any positive you can about this season for the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown. really nice game. Derek Barnes, really nice game. Penei Sewell, really nice game. Jamar Jefferson, really nice game. I mean, you can go up and down the line, and if you're watching on YouTube right now, you'll see the Detroit Lions draft and all the contributors that the Detroit Lions have on their roster from the 2021 NFL draft. They're playing very good football. And there looks to be like they've got some players in that draft. And again, it's one win. You're trying to pull any positive out, perhaps a positive.
I could pull this out of yesterday's game. I love how they love their coach.
It's hard not to acknowledge.
I just
it's
love
hard
that.
not to acknowledge.
We might think of him and Dan Campbell were talking about. We came in, we thought he was going to be, rah-rah guy. He's going to be the guy. And then he kind of fell into, maybe he isn't the guy. Maybe he's just a big old beathead. People like throwing that name out there at him. Go for the young coach. Go for the guys that look like Sean McVay. You don't really need a guy that looks like Sean McVay. Just because Dan Campbell's a big guy, big former football player, former tight end, played on an 0-16 team here in Detroit, got his first win. I'm so happy for him. I'm happy for Jared Goff. Could I say something?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm crazy, but I saw Jared Goff play he played his best game yesterday. I thought he looked pretty damn good yesterday considering what he's throwing to and what he has at his disposal. No DeAndre Swift. I thought I saw something in Jared Goff yesterday. Maybe I'm nuts.
Yeah, what I saw is physicality.
Probably.
What I saw is I saw physicality. You see the defensive stop on 2-point conversion. They were physical. They wanted it. They took it to them. They stopped those guys in the backfield. Second time they go for it on 2, they were physical. They stopped the guys in the backfield. Derek Barnes meeting the guy in the hole. He met Addison right in the hole. The physicality, that's what we talked about the Michigan-Ohio State game. That's what everybody's been talking about, the level of physicality. Same thing on offense with the offensive line. They were physical. Jamal Williams ran the ball. Like Jamal Williams had holes. Jamal Williams was running straight. He wasn't dancing around. He didn't have to dance around people. He was running straight. It was physical. One thing we didn't talk about, and it's my fault, I'm ashamed actually, is because when you go in as a young guy to the NFL, the thing that you benefit from veteran players at your position. You benefit from the veterans. Like when I came into the league, I had Dennis Northcutt, who had been there some time, Antonio Bryant, who I love. He was crazy as all hell, but man, he knew his stuff and he worked hard. It was great to have Antonio Bryant. I benefited from some older guys. A lot of guys at this level, at the wide receiver position, they didn't have anybody to benefit from. They didn't have that veteran guy who could show them how to run. It's different when a coach is coaching you versus when you got a veteran guy in the huddle with you, when you got a veteran guy reminding you of something during the game, in practice, showing you how to watch film, coming over your house to kick it to watch Monday Night Football. It's different when you have those veteran guys. They didn't have that. So the thing is, the learning curve takes longer. Because you're going to learn. You're going to get in-game experience. You're going to get on-the-job training, as they say in the field. But it takes longer. Now you're seeing Khalifa. Now you're seeing Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now you're seeing it change because they're on-the-field job training versus having that veteran guy that they didn't have. So that's me. I should have done a better job mentioning that all season.
3 of the top 33 picks are going to come here to Detroit come April when they're in where are they picking this year? Vegas?
I don't know.
I think they're in Vegas
They
this
took
year.
it back because they missed a year ago.
So they missed the kick. And Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a top 3 pick. Whether he comes here to Detroit or he goes over to the Houston Texans or whoever else moves up, maybe the Jacksonville Jags.
Watt.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but this team, I know I look through rose-colored glasses. I do. You want to know? I bet you, I wish I had the over right now. Over 1.5. They're going to win again. They're going to win a couple more games before the end of the year is over.
Can I be totally honest with you for a second?
And I know you don't care, right?
No, I do care. I do care. But, and I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here for a second. This is how I feel. I'm really glad they won a game. Those players, that staff, the organization, they work way too hard to lose every time you play. Feel really good about that. I'm glad for the fans. It means a lot, too. But this is very ridiculous. This whole jumping up and down and
I agree.
You know what I mean? This is like we look like we just won the damn Super Bowl yesterday. You know, it's almost like if this is what we do when we win a game, I mean, they won one football game in 364 days.
Two things.
Well, today's the anniversary of last year's win, by the way. Happy anniversary.
I'm sorry. I feel like this is almost like a comic book.
I don't care.
So
I don't care.
I feel like it's a comic book.
It's not.
I agree with you 100%. I don't like this. And actually, when I'm going to say 2 points. I don't like it as well. It reminds me of when Kobe was on the Jimmy Kimmel show and the Lakers won for the first time in like 20 games. And you see Swaggy P jumping all up in the interview. Jeremy Lin didn't know what the hell to say. I can't even think of the forward's name at the time. And Kobe didn't flinch on Jimmy Kimmel. He was typical Mamba. And he was pissed that the individuals were acting like that. So I understand that. But it goes back to the comment I just made. When you don't have leadership in terms of veteran guys, you don't know how to respond. These guys are all kids. They're all young.
That's good.
All they know in their NFL experience is being horrible. All they know is being terrible. All they know is not winning. All they know is Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Maz come on here every day and rip them a new one. And 97.1 and ESPN and Fox and just talk about how bad they are. They got to win. And in the moment, they forgot who they were. They forgot about all that, and they lost it. Jared Goff is the only individual that after he lost it for a second, you see him get hyped, you see him unstrap his helmet. You see him after he bumped Dan Campbell, he kind of came back down to earth like, you know what, wait a minute. I have been to the Super Bowl before. Let me calm my ass down. So, but all the guys, they're young guys, and I understand the young energy. Jared Goff, you got to do better.
Derek Barnes playing more now, Purdue linebacker. We're going to have him Friday on our show. To see guys like that play out and the free agents that Brad Holmes has brought in here, and we laughed and made fun of him because he didn't bring anybody in here. Nobody would have named, no Odell Beckham, no Adrian Peterson, whoever the hell was out there. We're like, bring him here because that's all we say as Lion fans. Just bring anybody here because we're desperate. But yesterday felt very good. Now, the other side of me, behind me, was like, nah, don't win. Don't win. Don't win.
No, I wanted him to win. I wanted him to win.
There's always two sides.
Yeah.
But the good side of me came through.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for them. And like I said, they're going to ruin their #1 pick. I'm telling you right now, they are hitting the over.
And maybe they will. And you know what?
That's okay.
That speaks to one thing I do like about this team and this organization. You cannot help but look in that locker room and see a group of men who love their head coach.
Yeah.
We'll have that video for you next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Hey, gang, you know why I'm not wearing a Michigan hat today?
Uh-oh.
Why would I want to cover up this new dude?
I don't know why. It's clean right there.
You know who you look like?
Who cut you up?
You look like Dick Grayson, the Boy Wonder.
Look,
ooh, Robin, there you go.
My girl Megan took care of me today on the old wash, the old hot lather neck shave, the old trim. All I had to do was walk in those doors, sign in, sit down, and before I knew it, I was handsome and clean.
You were handsome.
You
look
walked
at that,
in there
one way. You came out looking.
Oh man, they use some of the best products known to hair as well. It is Lady Jane's, and yes, today is Monday, and you can get your hair did on a Monday because Lady Jane's is open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. It is wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Awesome. Wicked awesome. How awesome is the fish?
Wicked awesome.
That's right. Wicked awesome. I'll tell you. I am not going to rain on the parade today.
Damn right you're not.
And I will stick with something I am encouraged by.
Detroit versus everybody.
There it is.
Hold on.
Show them.
Here it is.
Show those shirts.
Lions, baby.
Those shirts are on sale as we speak.
Lions.
And it's only $11.01 each.
Why is it $11.01,
Because
Maz?
the record for our beloved Detroit Lions is 110-1. Only 1,101 shirts are being sold, so make sure you get over to our friends at vseverybody.com.
Oh, yeah,
That's
baby.
versuseverybody.com.
Man.
And purchase one as we speak.
Look at this T-shirt. I got Michigan. I got Lions.
You're all over.
Got
You
my
are.
man boobs over here. Ooh-wee.
I love wearing these shirts because this is my first one. This is my first gifted one. Shout out to my guys over at Detroit versus Everybody. But I love wearing this shirt because I'm born and raised in Detroit. We're all Detroit when we represent it, but I'm actually born and raised in Detroit. And being in Michigan and being in the league and being in the cities I've been, when you bring up Detroit, there's always so many negative connotations that go around it. There's always so many jokes that come around it, whether it's the city, whether it's So Cold in the D, which was a horrible rap video made in Detroit, whether it's the Detroit Lions who went 0-16 and were on their way again this year, whether it was when we went bankrupt and had to pay that out. Whatever it is, it's something negative about Detroit. Movies take shots, TV shows take shots. So I wear this Detroit versus Everybody with pride, because at the end of the day, when you grow up in Detroit, you realize it really is Detroit versus everybody. Shout out to Jalen Rose.
Shout out, man. No doubt. Now, Maz, can I play this video for 2 minutes without talking over?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to show you one thing I am very encouraged by. It's the way this team fights for that guy. It's the way that these players fight for Dan Campbell.
This is courtesy of DetroitLions.com.
Absolutely.
And the NFL.
Here he is after the game.
To say that I'm proud of you would be a major understatement. Gentlemen, that's the way to just fight one more time. And it pays dividends. You know what we did? We found a way to win the day when we
Love
had
this
to
guy.
do it. We found a way.
Call him whatever you want.
We'll talk about the game, but all that later. But let me tell you something, man. Defense, we put you in some hard spots. We put you in some hard spots and you responded. You responded.
Jared Goff did.
But that's okay.
Man, we were doing some things. We kind of hit a wall, and when we needed it,
What happened in that fourth quarter?
He saved himself.
It's like, whoa, y'all taking shots at us? We won.
You don't do what we had to do at the end of the game where you're throwing it that much without your own line protecting.
Oh, yeah, O-line.
This has been a long time coming. This is what makes it great, man.
It's a year.
You know what?
That Ragnow back there?
Probably.
But it's
Looks
also
good.
what makes it great. It's hard to win in this league, man.
You're telling us.
Obviously.
You're telling us.
364.
Look at Brad Holmes.
Let's not forget these
Victory Monday, baby.
We were representing today.
Hey, I just want to say that was a hell of a game. We played complimentary football all game, and we stayed in there. Hey, but I want to give this game ball to Coach.
Watch this, folks. They're loving this guy.
I love him.
Aw.
Fourth down.
Shut up.
Family. Family.
It's hard not to like him.
I want to win too, but gee
It's hard not to like him.
Listen, we were all going to hang him when he went on
We were
4th
gonna
and
hang
1
him.
from his own 29-yard line. The only thing going his way there was the stat sheet that said, okay, 4th and 29, you're 0-10-1. Go ahead, go for it. They called a play up. It didn't work.
No,
It blew
he
up
called
in
the play
He
up.
called the play up. It blew up in their face. It didn't work. Minnesota scored a touchdown. But guess what? They went back down and got it back for him. All right? So
They
saved-
may have saved his job.
He
in year
saved
one.
himself. He did. He's calling the plays. When you hear Jared Goff, we're going to play him eventually. He comments, "Coach is calling these plays. We're going out and doing it. We appreciate him." It's him. He put his ass on the line.
He did, man.
Okay? He took all of that. He said, "I'm sorry, Coach Lynn. I know you've done all this in your career, but you know what? If I'm going to go down, I'm going to captain the ship. I'm going to go down my way."
Which I appreciate.
I appreciate him, man. And you know what? He's getting better. Except that 4th and 29, at 4th and 1 from the 29, I wouldn't have done.
I don't know if he saved his own butt yesterday or if he saved Jared Goff. Jared Goff single-handedly with those last 2 possessions before the touchdown would have been the downfall of the Detroit Lions' first win in darn near calendar season. So in this particular game, he saved Jared Goff, and he saved his season with that. But he saved Jared Goff, not himself.
They were up 2 points with
5 to go.
Inside their own 30-yard line.
Yeah.
They weren't up 3 points to where, you know what, if you want to give it a run, you lean on your defense to keep them within a field goal so you could, tie the game, or they could tie the game, and then you play it out from there. They went for it at their own 29-yard line, a 4th and 1 call, and a field goal. You're losing now. I don't know, man. That was ballsy. And this football team, if they didn't win that game, what this Monday would have turned, we would have led with the Lions today.
Yeah.
We would have led with the Lions today, the first day after Michigan won a Big Ten championship for the first time in 17 years, if they didn't win that game.
And we still would be talking about Michigan as opposed to now talking about the Lions for the last 2 segments.
So both coaches have basically set their own future in line. Mike Zimmer, it's not looking good.
He's done.
He lost 7 games by 6 points or less. Yesterday
led in every
was a
one of those
disaster.
games.
Yeah, yesterday was a disaster. It was a disaster against the Ravens, how they gave up that 4th quarter lead. Kirk Cousins, I don't know, man. Some days he looks really good, and some days he just looks like Kirk Cousins.
He had 320 and 3 touchdowns.
I know.
He had 320 and 2
Justin
touchdowns.
Jefferson is a horse.
Yeah, he is
a
monster.
horse. You lost Thielen. Thielen might be done for the year. They didn't have Dalvin Cook, but Madison runs good, and they still lost.
It's on the defense, man.
How did they play that last defensive play? You put 8 on the freaking goal line. No one gets behind you.
Yeah.
And this guy just
They
crawled
all
up
stayed in
and
front
they
of
got
him.
a touchdown.
He found
Thank
a
you.
soft zone. Yeah,
We'll
was
take
nuts.
it.
Now, the way Atlanta played yesterday, by the way,
they play hard.
They didn't play hard. That does not give me hope that the Lions can win. And not only, I don't know, do you want them to win any more games?
It don't matter what we want.
I'm asking you what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you want that first pick?
There's no Chase Young out there.
Atlanta plays hard. Atlanta plays hard to a certain extent, but don't give them more credit than they deserve. Tom Brady made a bonehead mistake. He felt terrible about it after, and he came back and made him pay for it. That game wasn't as close as people think.
Right.
So don't forget they threw a pick 6 on the 3.
I know.
so they play hard, but.
This was one of my favorite parts of the Lions win. Did you see the girlfriend of Jared Goff, a swimsuit model? She was. Did you see this, Braylon?
Nope. I got blinders on.
Okay, so So Jared Goff's girlfriend is a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. She's on a shoot at an undisclosed tropical island, working. And it's revealed to her that the Lions won. Here is that video of when she finds out that the Lions won a football game.
It's over. Wait. Shut up. You guys think this is their first win? Like, this is crazy. Here we go.
God bless. God bless.
I'm not touching that comment with a 10-foot pole.
I just said God bless.
It's good to be Jared Goff. Even Jeff Goff.
Gotta love Jeff Goff.
Who's Jeff Goff?
Oh, you guys are sneaky. You know who Jeff Goff is.
Who's Jeff Goff?
Hey, man, we going to commercial.
Yeah, we can take an early break.
Hey, man, it's Ermanni Edwards, bottom line.
Oh, Jeff.
Come on, baby.
Oh, my God. Jeff Goff.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. One mortgage myth we hear all the time is having to choose between a 15 or a 30-year fixed term. At Hall Financial, we offer the modern mortgage to create a flexible term that fits your unique financial situation. Our team of mortgage experts are available 7 days a week to review your goals and customize a solution for you. Get started today with a free 5-minute mortgage review at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Big names, bigger opinions. It's the bottom line on Woodward Sports.
All right, I got to stand up,
Standing
guys.
up?
Standing up.
He is fill in the blank.
Yes. No, it's all good.
No, he's
I
good.
feel good. I just got to stand up a little bit.
DESSAG.
Hey, let's go around the NFL if we could. We got a special guest coming in studio, by the way, in about less than 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah.
3:30 or so. Let's go around the NFL now, guys. Big win. Do we have that video of Gardner Minshew or no?
Oh, yeah. But
Oh,
that was going to be my video of the day, but okay.
So the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New York
Guys
Jets
stole 2 of my videos already.
33-18. This is the video afterwards
Minshew.
of Gardner Minshew and his dad. You think that win means something to
Minshew.
him? How about that? Gardner Minshew.
Minshew mania.
I mean, I kind of want. What about that guy?
I've always
the
liked
Lions?
Minshew.
Why not?
I've always liked Minshew.
Young guy.
Jacksonville had some success.
Have you seen Goff's girlfriend?
I like Minshew.
I'm sticking with Jared Goff.
That's excitement right there, bro.
I mean, that is pretty cool, huh? The Philadelphia Eagles are
Still got the handlebar mustache.
They beat the Jets.
No, I know, but they're beating a lot. They're winning games, man.
They just lost by 50 last week.
No, okay, so they lost to New Orleans, but they're in it, dude. They're in it.
New Orleans can't beat their way in a paper bag.
But they're 6-7. That's gonna get you in.
You said they're what?
They're 6-7
No, you're
this year
right.
in the NFC. I mean, the Eagles are a dangerous team.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No,
No.
You don't like the
They
Eagles?
cannot win a playoff game.
You don't think they can win a playoff
No.
game?
They
If
can't win a regular game.
They're
Okay.
fodder.
If they get in, they're winning a game.
Okay. They're not going to get in.
Hey,
First of all, I'm not going to have to worry
Hey,
about it.
you know what though? I'm not going to bet against
Okay.
Ryan Ermanni because he's been right his fair share of the
Telling
season,
you.
with the exception of the Saints. But other than
Eagles
that,
are going to win a game. They're going to beat Matt Stafford and the Rams.
All righty. You're okay.
Just saying.
You'll be okay.
Odell's got 2 games in a row with a touchdown. I'm just throwing that out there.
Hey, what about the Kansas City Chiefs last night at Sunday Night Football? They beat the
Boring.
Broncos 22-9.
Boring.
The one thing that is impressive about the Kansas City Chiefs is that defensively they look really good now.
That's what I was about to say. Like, you hit the nail on the head. The problem was they could not defend. Nick Swanson, oh my God, he was abysmal this season. Yesterday, had a pick 6. He's finding his way into his rhythm. He's finding way into knowing how to cover. That's good for them because the fact that you have $500 million quarterback, one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen, still at the helm, who's not hurt, by the way, they will be able to figure out the biggest thing for them is that second wide receiver has been killing them. The fact that they don't have a second wide receiver, like Fish, the fact that they don't have a second wide receiver is killing them. Mecole Hardman, who balled when they went to the Super Bowl. Balled the year before they went to the Super Bowl. You know why he was able to ball? Because he was a trick play, gadget play. You had Tyreek Hill, who was the main guy. Had Sammy Watkins, who was a guy that helped them out
He
tremendously.
scored last night.
And yeah, Travis Kelce. But them not having a second guy that could do that, Mecole Hardman used to come in for gadget plays. Now they're forcing the guy that's not a number 2 wide receiver to be a number 2 wide receiver. They need a 2 wide receiver, but the fact their defense has figured it out, I really do like Chiefs. And it looks like my pick in the beginning could be right. Chiefs versus
Could
Bucks.
be.
Because the Bucks, whoo, I can't wait to talk about them.
30-17 winners over the Atlanta Falcons, and they do seem like they're playing pretty decent
Well,
football.
Gronk is back.
Yeah.
He makes that
deal.
team,
What
man.
a big deal.
He makes that team. He truly does.
Tom Brady is a guy that has a rhythm. He has a system, and his system works for it. His system is, I need Rob Gronkowski, and I need a wide receiver that I can just dump the ball off to. The guy he can dump the ball off to is Antonio Brown. Like, the one thing I will give them credit for, the other thing he needs is a running back that catches the ball out the backfield. What did he do to Fournette? He's turned Leonard Fournette to a guy that catches out of the backfield.
Yeah.
He catches out of the backfield and is happy
They are very
doing
good,
so.
but their defense isn't what it used to be.
But it's still getting better because your boy Antoine Winfield Jr. is stepping up and making plays. The thing you got to love about Tampa, they have bought into winning. Just think about being Mike Evans or Chris Goddard.
Yeah.
They could be like,
You're right.
so he brings his guys in.
That's terrific.
That only happens with Tom Brady, too, by the way.
I agree with you 100%, but I'm saying they bought into what Tom Brady said. They're like, they saw the proof was in the pudding in the Super Bowl. So those guys, like, they'll keep in mind, those are Pro Bowl guys before Tom got there. They were already good guys. They bought into it because they were winning. It's tough to turn, and trust me, I played the position. It's tough to take the ball out of receivers' hands for other receivers. And they're doing it, and they're not flinching. They're comfortable because they understand the bigger picture.
NFC Championship, you could put it down in cement. It's Buccaneers at Packers rematch. Green Bay wins this time.
And maybe so. Green Bay had the bye this week, but nobody is talking about the
Arizona.
NFC's best team,
Yeah.
record-wise anyway, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. They go on the road and they win by double digits over the Chicago Bears. And say what you want about the Chicago Bears, but still not easy for Arizona to go on the road and win by double digits.
In bad weather.
Yeah, in bad weather. I mean, that just goes to show you, too, that if in fact, something happens down the stretch where Arizona needs to go to a Green Bay or somewhere like that, that they can go win a game in bad weather.
I think the reason why people aren't talking about the Arizona Cardinals, a lot of the good wins that they had were early in the year before teams figured it out. And then when they did play in some of those tough games, like the thing that sticks in my mind, what team did they play on Thursday Night Football that didn't have any receivers, had a hurt running back, but they did have a guy by the name of Aaron Rodgers? They went to Arizona and beat the Cardinals. That game taught me all I needed to know about the bigger picture moving forward later on in the year.
But look how it ended. That ended on the goal line the other way. Cardinals had a chance to win that game.
Exactly. So, and that's with nobody playing at wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers and no tight ends. So the fact that they play like that, I need to see more out of them in the bigger picture, big games, things of that nature. Now is the time where you show what kind of team you are. Now is the time. Chicago, that doesn't count.
My favorite team in the AFC, Hard Knocks.
Indianapolis
Colts.
They're not in the playoffs right now. If it ended right now,
really 8-6.
Yep.
No, they're like
the Colts are 7-6.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, 7-6. They're not
They're
in right
first
now.
team out, right?
Yeah, because Cincinnati at 7-5, LA Chargers at 7-5,
and the Titans
Buffalo
beat them
Bills
twice,
at
right?
7-4.
Yeah, the Titans beat them twice.
Yeah, but Indianapolis is a team that nobody wants in on the AFC side right now.
They'll get in.
They'll get in, but if the season ended today, they're not in right now. But Indianapolis won yesterday. They whipped up on the Texans 31-0. Guys, a big game in Cincinnati for playoff seeding or whatever the case you want. The Chargers 41-22 over the Cincinnati Bengals.
I caught that one too, by the way.
They were up 24-0 at one point.
Yeah, and then it was 24-22.
They went for two. It missed it, of course. And then two defensive turnovers. One went the whole way, 90 yards the other way, and since he lost, they just don't know how to finish.
No,
they just don't know how to finish.
Still a little bit younger of a football team, but that's a team that I liked from day one. Cincinnati. Now they get blown out yesterday. I mean, I think the game was a little bit closer.
It was closer to
the
fourth
final
quarter.
score indicated. But those are two teams right now that would have a playoff berth if it's set. Guys, what happened to the Raiders, man?
They took it on the chin yesterday.
And again, they're 6-6. They're not out of this thing yet, but they wasted one yesterday, and maybe a little bit of a blown call too.
It was, especially after Washington took the lead. The next play, Derek Carr throws a 70-yard P, and I think Zay Jones was the receiver. And the guy played great defense on him. He had a piece of his jersey. He did. I don't think it was pass interference. I don't. I just don't. But the Raiders should have won that game. They let it go at home. Ron Rivera's got the Washington.
Yeah,
they're tough.
Hey,
Tyler Heineke.
Washington at 6-6.
Hey, you can finish.
They won 4 in a row.
You can finish this sentence for me, Maz.
You called that one too.
Where's that folder? Let me see that folder. I wrote those picks down.
He did.
No, I did because I talked about the. I said I'm taking football team.
He liked Heineke. He did.
I did, and we talked about Ron Rivera.
He did.
We talked about Ron Rivera and Heineke.
Guys, the Rams got right against the Jacksonville Jaguars, 37-7. Matthew Stafford with a decent game in this one. I wouldn't even call it a good game, but he did what he had to do in this one. Matthew Stafford, 37 points for the LA Rams. And look, they won the game off the bye, and they're 8-4. Now we'll see what happens.
Oh, by the way, the Dolphins won again.
I think
5 in a row.
Even though they were playing against the Jaguars, you talk about that next match because you're right, because Tua Tagovailoa, oh man, he's underrated.
5 in a row.
So, but talking about the Rams, I think that Jacksonville Jaguar game happened at a very pivotal point for the Rams because they were on the way backsliding fast. And man, Matt Stafford didn't have a breakout game, but he had a game in which he didn't do what? Throw an interception. That is key. And then Rams defense, although Jaguars offense is just pedestrian, they got back on track. And Von Miller, you saw him out there. You heard his name a couple times, Aaron Donald. So that was a key win. Because if they play a close game, or if Matt Stafford throws another interception, it would have been over.
Here you go for the Rams now. You ready? at Cardinals,
Loss.
Seahawks won this week.
Far.
At Vikings.
They'll win that one.
At Ravens.
Loss.
49ers.
Who knows?
So you're looking at one more win potentially.
That's a weird schedule.
I mean,
all those teams can beat you, and then they also can you can blow them out. It's a weird schedule.
Seahawks were gallant yesterday against the 49ers.
Yeah, 30-23 winners.
Won that game. 49ers went 96 yards at the end of the game to only sit down at the 4-yard line and could not get in the end zone to tie that game.
Speaking of could not get into the end zone, they went for 2, could not get in.
Ooh, the Ravens.
Wide open, Mark Andrews on a 2-point conversion. John Harbaugh said he had to go for 2 at the end of the game instead of kicking the extra point that would have put him in overtime because he said he had no corners left. He had no healthy corners available to him, so he had to go for 2 after they scored the tying touchdown.
He's gutty.
And by the way, they did draw up a play that got Mark Andrews wide open.
TJ Watt kind of blew it up.
Yeah,
he got in L. Jack's face quick.
And Lamar Jackson just couldn't get to him. But Baltimore, man, Pittsburgh's. Look, Pittsburgh's gonna be the Thursday night game this week.
Yeah.
I hate watching
I'm sick
Pittsburgh.
Of it. I hate it.
There isn't. I'd rather watch the Lions than the Pittsburgh
Me too.
Steelers. I really would. They are the least appetizing team to watch on television, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
3 quick things. One, I picked the Steelers as well.
That's Maz's favorite. I gotta tell you, Braylon, Maz loves it when you say "I told you so." I told you.
I say it too much, and I told everybody to stop saying
JFK assassinated. I told you.
I told you it was Lee Harvey Oswald.
John Lennon. I told you.
I did. I told you that too. No, but I did say it. 2, like Lamar Jackson, we got to start coming down a little hard on it. I think we've been too lenient on him because he's had these wins. He's thrown interceptions, but he's come back and got wins. He's come back and found a way to win. You know, we forgave him pretty much for having 6 interceptions in 2 weeks. Now it's time to be serious about Lamar Jackson. Yes, he's a great player. Yes, he is an MVP winner. He's no longer, just in his own words, you're no longer a rookie.
Would you pay him $40 million a year?
Yes. I would, without hesitation.
Yeah.
Without hesitation. Players like him don't come along often, but I got to put more on him. I got to put more public scrutiny on him. I need him to feel, because he's so self-deprecating that as a coach, you're like, well, he said it, whatever. But I feel like as a coach, if you come out and say it too, it adds a little bit more pressure. Third, one thing we didn't talk about with the Chiefs and Broncos, 20-play drive ends up with
0 points.
How is that even possible?
They went for it instead of kicking the field goal. They said we gotta beat Kansas City with touchdowns. And by the way, it's those decisions where at the end of the game you're down 10, you're down 13, and you start forcing these. That's twice. They went for touchdowns instead of kicking field goals that would have been chip shot field goals, and they find themselves at the end of the game, they're down 13 points. Now, ultimately, the defensive touchdown made it a little bit more.
As opposed to being down
a touchdown because you kick 2 field goals. These decisions that are made by these coaches are so dumb, and the only reason they're dumb is because they don't work out. If they work out, we're having different conversations.
It's analytics-itis.
Yeah.
Look at a piece of paper now. That's what they do.
Here's how you rectify that. Analytics started with Billy Beane and the Oakland Athletics. Am I correct?
Yes.
Is that when analytics really got?
As far as we know.
Yeah. As far as we know, that's when analytics became big, and you started to hear the word analytics, and people now it's taking over in football. Did Billy Beane and the Athletics, did they win the World Series?
No.
Not yet.
There it is.
Whoop, there it is.
There it is.
Tonight's game will be a dandy.
Yeah, it is. We'll get into that in the final segment of the show. Monday Night Football, game of the weekend, but there's going to be a lot of weather. 45-degree winds, perhaps in Buffalo. Who does that favor? Buffalo, a 3-point favorite over the New England Patriots, who have won 6 in a row. Buffalo Bills 3-3 in their last 6.
The Bills Mafia better take that into consideration tonight when they jump on a table. You got to jump outside maybe and hook in with the wind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maz, we got a big deal coming up next.
We do. We've got a guy that wrote a song for the Lions yesterday, and you're going to hear it right after this.
Good old G-Mac, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's get him in. Detroit's finest.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
It's the Lions pregame show, covering everything you need to know for game day. Join Pros and Joes as we cover our hometown Detroit Lions.
Let's go. I said the Lions won a game. Man, we going all the way. All the way, baby. We about to celebrate. Come on, why? Because the Lions won a game. Let's go. I said the Lions won a game. Bitch, we going all the way. Come on, we about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game. Feeling like the champs is about to go to down. Jared Goff had 3 touchdowns. Get a whole team buffs with them bust down. We just won off a game-winning touchdown. If the Lions win, then we all win. Even though our record like 1-10. Say something about the Lions, I'm like, come again. We going to the Super Bowl off of 1 win. Man, that turn up about to be so real. I'ma have to do a show up at Ford Field. I know they sick looking at the scoreboard still. Thought it was over, but we came up and scored still. I said the Lions won a game. Man, we going all the way. All the way, baby. We about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game. I said the Lions won a game. Bitch, we going all the way. Come on, we about to celebrate. Why? Because the Lions won a game.
And there it is, G-Mac Cash, baby. Detroit's own G-Mac Cash rap. It's going viral on Twitter. Lions won a game. Let's bring him in on the V-Mix right now. G-Mac, how you doing, my man?
How y'all doing?
Real fine.
What up, though?
I do have one question for you about the lyrics. You said Lions won a game. We going all the way. Where the hell are we going?
Hey, Ryan, look, I just do these songs I want to uplift the team, man. I want to see them win some more. It's just to uplift the team right now.
That's love right there,
man. I love it.
Coming through Detroit on with Detroit's own, man. What's going on? Hey, what up, though? Appreciate that, man. Means a lot, man, having you on here. City guy, man, like myself, you know what I'm saying? West Side Cub, King High School. Yo, man, like, when you start doing these viral rap videos, man, in terms of, because you actually have real rap skill. Like, people hear this and it's just like, oh, man, it's just like some parody stuff. Nah, brother can actually go. But, like, with the viral, like, oh, for sure. With the parody stuff, once you start doing the parody stuff and realize, like, man, I can do this and kind of just be funny and it'll go viral. And, oh, by the way, people will come to the page and check my real stuff out, too.
That's right.
Yeah,
like, when did you start doing that?
I've been rapping since high school, I want to say. No, elementary school, for real. And when I started rapping, it was more like everybody was sounding the same. Everybody was talking about the same thing. So what I wanted to be different. I wanted to do something like, what can I do to stand out more? What can I do to do different? That's when the parody things started coming on. So when I did the first one, it kind of went viral. And then I'm like, okay, this is something I can stick with. So, you know, I kind of stuck with it. And I try to, like, I've been slacking a little bit, but I'm back on it. Like,
you back now, though?
You're back in a big way. So how long did it take for you to come up with this? Because I mean, like, it sounds so effortless when you're going through it, when you're rapping, when you're singing it. But how long did it take to find the words?
I probably said about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. How does that work, man? I mean, that's
boy a genius, man.
Seriously, that is such a skill. To be able to get those words down on a page like that and then, you know, spit it out to a beat. I mean, that's amazing, man.
All right. I'm so used to it now, so it's like, it probably used to take longer. It probably used to take about an hour, but now it's like, it just come off the head.
Wow.
The thing that I love about, like, rappers is whether they're being goofy, whether they're being serious, is people take for granted how skillful it is.
Sure.
Like, you gotta be a wordsmith. You gotta know what's going on in the world. You gotta be a wordsmith, know what's going on in the community. You gotta know what's going on with the Lions. Because you do all that, you jumble it in your brain, and then you start spitting it out, regurgitating it, and people like, oh man, that's hot. Like, they think it's easy. Man, you gotta study, research. You gotta look at your thesaurus, like your dictionary, like learn words. Like, I learned that from J. Cole and then Jay-Z. They say you're always in the dictionary learning words and synonyms and antonyms and stuff. Yeah,
the bigger words you learn, the bigger the thought. Can't nobody steal them because you already studied them.
Hey, G-Mac, did anyone from the Lions call you? Hey, did anyone from the Lions give you a call yet? Any of the players hit you up on Twitter?
I'm sorry, I got a phone call.
That's all right.
Go ahead, take that call.
It's like the Marshawn Lynch Monday Night Football simulcast with the Madness. I love it. He said, I got a phone
Is that one
call.
of the Lions calling you?
No. Hopefully. I need to perform, man. I need to perform on that field, get the crowd, get the city back hyped, man. They got to get me on there.
No, get on, you got to call Gridiron. Gridiron will get you hooked up.
That'd be fire. Like, rapper out of Detroit, man. Like, when you look at the artists from Detroit, you got Sada Baby right now, Babyface Ray, you know, Vezo back in the past. Like, what are you, Dusty, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here. Like, who was, like, got you in the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, Detroit rapper. For me, it was Blade Icewood. But, like, who somebody got you in the game mentally, say, oh, man, I could do that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to represent like that.
Oh, it'll probably, I want to say it was between Doughboys Cash Out and Team Eastside. So, like that's on the same thing. I grew up listening to them in high school, so, you know, it was kind of like, oh, we can do this too. I was doing that, so I was, you know, rapping about the same thing they used to rap about, but then it was like, you know, that's them, and then I'm me. I'm doing something different now, so I end up doing something different. But then my brothers, man, I talk to Vez, I talk to Sada, all of them, man. That's all I love in Detroit.
Nah, respect 100%. Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. G-Mac Cash, man, we can't thank you enough for your time. We love the song, and we invite everybody to go to G-Mac Cash YouTube page. What do you got? Holy crap, 43,000 subscribers on that page. Dang, man. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Hit him on his money phone. You know what time it is.
And you can follow him on Twitter, too, on social media, at GMAC Cash. That's Detroit's own right there. The Lions won a game. They're going all the way.
Going all the way, baby.
Going all the way.
We going all the way, baby.
What I like about the Lions, man, is that even though one win, it just shows you how our city is behind us. Like, everybody's celebrating right now off of one win. That's just how our city built.
What are you going to do for next week when they win again?
We got another song.
I got to go to the game now.
All right. Get him in the game.
Yeah. Instead of Lions won a game, it'll be Lions won again.
Lions won a game.
Okay. I see you out here. I see Lions won a game. Okay, I see what you did right there.
Alex trying to throw the flag at me. GMAC Cash, we appreciate you, man. On Twitter, at GMAC Cash. Follow him. Hit it. Subscribe on his YouTube channel as well. GMAC Cash. Absolutely great stuff there, guys. Appreciate you. Check us out, Woodward Sports.
I see Lil Mama in the background.
Yeah. How great is that? The Lions won a game.
Nice.
We going all the way.
In 2023.
I love how you said, where the hell we going? Like that was some shade, but that was some grade A shade. That was pretty good.
He's got to do something for the Wolverines now.
Is that? Oh yeah.
I forgot to even ask about that. I got caught up in the city.
I know.
I forgot about Ann Arbor.
Yeah, we got to do that, man. That's so much fun.
Reach out to him, Bray.
What a great day.
I'm gonna have Alex clip that for me and post it.
Michigan in the Big Ten. Michigan is in the playoff. The Lions win a game.
Michigan State is playing against Pitt.
New Year's Six
Bowl.
Got a lot going on, and we got a long time to talk about these games. But coming up next, we are going to do bottom line videos of the day. Where did the time go today?
I feel like we stole all of Maz's video. You probably got one video.
Two of them are gone.
Right. Good. Good. You?
Good. You?
Ermanni Edwards, Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line, baby.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
When I was out there celebrating this past Saturday in Indianapolis, and I got there Friday, went to the restaurant. The next day, wanted to celebrate, was out there with some people having a good time, representing Michigan. Went to the bar and I asked for some gypsy vodka because I was at the hotel, which means we would have been drinking responsibly, and they didn't have any. You know what I did? Didn't even get any vodka. I just got some wine because I was pissed. Michigan's gluten-free vodka, gypsy vodka, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Adam and Mike, Michigan State, came up with a great product. The neighborhood liquor stores, they are starting to get it. I'm starting to see it on the shelves. Infused Oh yeah, you like when I say
infused.
that. Infused with artesian spring
Infuse
water.
this.
Oh man, it's great.
Oh,
Man, it's great. And it's corn distilled 6 times. 50 different formulas. Oh, excuse me, 6 times.
Wow.
6 times it's
Get
distilled,
outta
corn
here.
distilled. Yeah, and 50 different formulas. And guess what? On the 50th try, they got it right. Just like David Robinson, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Like that fish.
Gluten-free Gypsy vodka. Remember, if you're gonna drink responsibly.
That's right, Alex Mayer. Drink responsibly. Also, if you want to be a responsible
There you
member
go.
of your family, of your community, then go ahead and get the black and yellow sign in front of your house. That's right, Guardian Alarm. A good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. What does it make you feel, Fish?
Secure.
Secure, that's right. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology.
Stay
Helps you feel
out.
safe. That's right. I'll get to that momentarily. 24/7 local monitoring.
Oh, was I too early?
Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control your lights, your temperatures. I was with a guy yesterday, unlocked his doors. Woo!
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Did he put his
Are
lamps
you
on?
kidding me?
Did his lamps
No,
go
right
on?
from the phone.
Wow.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Look, all you got to do
Can
is
you
do
order
this.
Conies with
You
them?
can order Conies with the
Yeah.
Find
phone.
new roads.
Look, you want to find new roads? You find a new road to this phone number right here. You ready? 1-800-STAY OUT. That number, hey, just like the Lions keeping the Vikings out of the end zone late, right? They kept, stay out.
There it
Stay
is.
out.
1-800-STAY
Bombers.
out. You better call Guardian
out.
Alarm.
The Vikings scored, by the way. They
You
didn't keep
better
them
call
out.
Guardian Alarm.
The Vikings
out,
should have had Guardian
Better
against the
call
Lions.
them.
Stay out.
Stay out.
Mike Zimmer needs them.
1-800-STAY out of this
Definitely
locker room, Mike Zimmer. You're done. Get out of here, Mike.
Still goes
Stay
home.
out.
Mike Zimmer needs Guardian
He still
Alarm.
goes home to his girlfriend, though.
Well, she's going to be out. She's going to put him out. She's going to tell him to stay out after losing the Lions.
Stay out. Maz, I'm assuming you stayed out of the CFL too?
I know. I felt bad.
Man,
I did.
oh, man.
I'm sorry.
Maz.
Who won? Fill me in.
The Tiger Cats and the Blue Bombers.
That's the final?
That's the
Tiger
final,
Cats.
same as 2019.
The Who and the Who played the Who?
Tiger Cats beat the Argonauts yesterday. Upset. They were down 12-0
Okay,
at the
okay.
half. They
Oh
came
my
back
gosh.
a great punt return, 60-yard
Upset.
punt return.
Did they win on a rouge?
Don't you
Not, but there was a rouge in the Blue Bombers and Rough Riders game.
don't you ever
was a
mention Blue
great
Bombers
game.
and Rough Riders on this show again?
Right,
Get out of
no.
here with that
Hey,
stuff.
Blue
Stay
Bombers
out.
the Blue
Stay
Bombers
out.
had 6 turnovers. I don't know how they won
Because
that
their
game.
name is the
Stay
Blue
out.
Bombers. That's how they had 6
Where's
turnovers.
the final going to be?
Get out
It's
of
actually
here.
in Hamilton.
Outside?
Ridiculous.
Outside, yes.
Hey, Maz and Fish, take this after the show. Y'all talk
Love
about
the
that.
great
Stay out of my house.
Stay out.
cup.
Stay out of here.
Great cup.
No chip shortage.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm done with you.
The Great
guys.
Cup is
All
certified.
right.
I tap out. I defer to you
6
guys.
times infused. Maz, bottom line videos of the day.
Hey, you guys stole a couple of my bottom line videos the day earlier with Mr. Pickett from Pitt with that fake slide.
Very
that was going to be
good.
one of mine.
Okay.
But and then you took Jared Goff's girlfriend.
Okay.
You know
I
what?
didn't- I didn't take- I didn't
I'll
do- I
play
didn't
that
do
one
that.
again anyway.
Yeah, do
This
that.
Jared Goff's girlfriend.
Shut up.
Oh,
Shut up.
my- Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
We're gonna get in trouble for that.
Alex is all over it.
That's
Shut
it.
up.
Alex loves
Family.
it. We see that again.
Shut up,
Here with my
family.
family.
You know,
Shut up, family.
earlier in the year,
What is happening in the last 10
she was
minutes?
hanging out at Birmingham Roast earlier.
Get out of
Yeah.
here. Don't,
Oh my God.
how about it?
Cut all our mics
Oh,
off.
mama.
Cut everybody's mic off.
Great. What else you got, man?
What else
Jeff
you got, man?
Goff.
Maz, would you get back, come
all
back
right.
to life?
Poor
Okay,
guy can't stand up over here.
Nick Saban. Nick Saban, after
let's
that
name
big
our morning
win
show.
in the SEC championship, knocking off Georgia, Nick Saban trolling the media as usual. Check out St. Nick.
You guys gave us a lot of really positive rat poison. The rat poison that you usually give us is usually fatal. But the rat poison that you put out there this week was yummy.
Affleck.
Who is this guy?
Affleck.
Who is he?
I told you guys. It's 5 weeks ago when I saw that Joker smile. I said that is not good for college football.
He is the Joker.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: Cincinnati Bearcats, you had an amazing 2-year run. You've had an amazing season, Luke Fickell. You guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble. Anytime you got Nick Saban telling jokes, not only is he smiling, now he's a comedian. I'm so glad I ain't Cincinnati Bearcats. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man, is
he about
good.
to hang 80 on me.
I love that guy.
I
Boy,
love
he's
Saban
just
too,
become
man.
he's become lovable.
Yeah, he has.
How did that happen?
How?
How did it happen? He had no personality.
Maybe
Till like a month ago.
Maybe it was all. You know what? Maybe it was always there. I give you an example. Rest in peace, Kobe. Kobe was the meanest SOB for 20 years. Kobe only cared about one thing, and that was winning and doing what it took to win. Then when he retired, he started making movies. He was kicking. He was cracking jokes.
His daughters.
Winning Oscars.
Exactly.
Coaching high school basketball.
He was fun. So I think some people, they go to the extreme to do what they got to do to win. And when it's over, they're like, all right, cool. Let me show these guys who I really am.
I just found out the reason that Nick Saban is so happy.
What is it?
Because Bryce Young is his quarterback.
Check this video out.
Shut up. Shut up, please.
Guys, this is their first win. Like, it's crazy. Here we go.
Man,
shut up.
Thank you, Alex.
Shut up.
Major foul, personal foul.
This poor guy's gonna be sitting in this chair for 30 minutes after the show.
There are married men on this show. You guys are in trouble. I'm telling you that.
30 minutes after the show, he's gonna be sitting there still.
I leave you with one final. My favorite player in the world, Steph Curry.
You like Steph Curry?
He loves him.
He hated everybody.
He loves
the tunnel.
I said
he hit this from the tunnel.
Loves Steph Curry.
Oh my God!
Look!
Oh my God! Literally the tunnel.
Look!
Nothing but the bottom.
Put that sound up again. No sound. Oh,
Yeah.
mama.
Oh my God!
So he does these shots like all the time, and he's practicing and practicing.
Steph Curry-
They said that's the first time he's hit this one.
From the stands, folks.
I mean,
effortlessly, by the way.
That is crazy.
Come on, man. If that's not the greatest
Not even
shooter
fair.
in basketball history.
Effortlessly.
Congratulations to
That's
Steph
great.
Curry and the Warriors at 19-3. They ran the Suns off the court the other night. That was easy money. That was easy money. I won the money on mybookie.com on that
Of course
game.
you did. You and Adam love winning money on my bookie.
I teased down the over-under 3 points, and I needed every one of those
Really?
points for that.
Very
But I
good.
wound up hitting the parlay, which
Good
was
for
nice.
you. Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you, Jack.
Good for you, Jack.
All right, hey, big day tomorrow. We got Stan in the house. Michigan, college football, Lions, Dan Campbell. And then on Friday, is it Friday? We got Derek Barnes
from the Lions.
Derek Barnes, Lions, baby. All right, bring us home, Braylon Edwards.
I only got 3 for you today, man. Thing one. Shout out to Adrian Peterson. He just doesn't go away. Scored his 126
He's unreal.
touchdown. Didn't even know he was on the roster. Scored in Seattle. And by the way, they got the win against the 49ers. Shout out to AP all day. Also, shout out to Fish. I talked to a lot of fans when I was out there in Indianapolis that knew about the bottom line minds. They knew about Woodward Sports. They knew about Big D Energy. They knew about the Morning Wood. They knew about the betting shows that we had with Beerman and Stevie G. They knew about it, but guess what? I heard Fish's name more than anybody. They said, I love the guy that always talks about the random facts. What's his name? Fishbowl? He's in the
Good
Fishbowl?
job, Fish.
You got a lot of love out there, Andy. So shout out to you for the job you do.
Go Ticats!
I was
Go
like,
Bombers.
okay.
Bombers.
Stop
Alex, you
it.
got
See,
anybody you want to go anywhere? No.
The last thing I would say, shout out to Michigan as a program.
And Jared Goff's girlfriend.
Since 2018, Michigan has been to the Frozen Four,
Jeff Goff,
the Final Four, now the College Football Playoff, and also the College World Series. The only institution in North America to win a national championship in all 4 of the major sports. That is why it is great to be
a Michigan Wolverine, baby.
I'm Edward Tees Ermanni. This is the Bottom Line. Fish, Mass, and Alex, and we will see you tomorrow.
Hail.
Twice.
Then he just took it. He just took it. Look at his face. But here comes another one.
I was like, you got me, you got me, you got me. Ah!
It's over. Wait. Shut up. Shut up. You guys think this is their first win? Like, this is crazy.
Here we go.